When we talk about power chords, there's a common misconception that they are full chords, which technically they're not. But in the genre of metal, they are the song's building blocks. In today's video, I'll break down the music theory and help you understand what makes power chords different than actual chords and why they are essential in metal music. Hello metalheads, I'm Aggro, an MA music theoretician currently pursuing my PhD in music sciences. So you're at the right place to learn the right things. Welcome to Dark Industry. Well, power chords are vital in creating that heavy sound. They don't qualify as full chords. A true chord typically contains 3 or more distinct notes, which contributes to its harmonic complexity. Even if you can't read notes, you can simply count the number of note heads in this Chopin's prelude and see that full chords have 3 or more notes, some of which are doubled or even tripled in high voices. That sums up to 3 notes in up to 6 voices in a piano texture. Power chords are made of only 2, the root and the fifth. And by having these 2 sheer notes, they naturally lack certain harmonic richness. Yet this richness is not achieved through harmony, but through timbre. Let's compare one power chord on a Steinway piano and that same power chord on a Jackson soloist guitar. When we examine the two, the differences are obvious even visually. The electric guitar clearly displays a much richer saturation of the sound spectrum, which contributes to the thick, gritty texture. On the other hand, a power chord played on a piano delivers a clear and more polished tone, practically useless in metal. You see, the timbre of distorted guitars allows for power chords' rich overnotes to beef up the entire sound spectrum. So instead of harmony, they focus on simplicity and impact. But now this is getting more interesting. I will thicken up the piano into a complete 3-note chord and guitar remains the same. So let's compare these results. I'm not sure why none of you told me that my face was all glossy and stuff because of the face cream leftovers. Anyway, sorry for my metrosexual moments. Let's get back. Interestingly, even a complete triad played on a piano doesn't achieve the same level of saturation as a power chord of an electric guitar. While the triad you heard includes 3 distinct tones, it lacks this raw, aggressive texture and overtone richness that power chords deliver. I know I'm saying much more than I can justify, but I believe that this overall timbre richness and sound information we get from power chords is the reason why they were named chords in the first place. Occasionally, power chords can incorporate a 3rd voice, but that is not the new chord tone, because I said voice. This means one of the 2 power chord tones gets doubled, which usually is the case of the root. One good example of this kind is the opener riff from Iron Maiden's song The Wicker Man. You see, the power chord still remains the same, a 2-note structure, right? But it now only has 3 voices. And what that means is one of the voices is doubled and placed 1 whole octave lower. Additionally, the root can be doubled not under, but above the 5th, as showcased in Metallica's riff from Sad But True. In other variations, power chords can take the form of a chord inversion, where the 5th is positioned not above, but below the root. And one of my favorite guitarists often employs this pattern in his playing, and yes, You all know this, right? At the end of this video, it is crucial to clarify that power chords must remain hollow harmonies, constructed solely from roots and fifths, or their inversions, like in the last example. Once a power chord incorporates a third, a sixth, or a seventh, those intervals simply create major-minor characteristics and the power chord ceases to be one. One of such examples is Slayer's Bloodline. In summary, while power chords may be misunderstood as full chords, they serve as fundamental elements in the metal genre, providing the heavy sound that defines it. By maintaining their structure of just two simple notes, the root and fifth, power chords create a unique sound impact that is distinct from traditional harmonies. As we explored, as we ventured, even in addition, the third voice and the inversion, that we added later on, they still retain their characters focusing on simplicity rather than harmonic complexity. And this is what allows power chord to dominate the genre of metal music. So metalheads, thanks for joining me in this exploration of power chords. Feel free to comment and tell me how you liked your time in the dark industry. Stay heavy.